How's it going, everyone? It's your man, Lost Disciple, the voice boxer in the underground of YouTube. Now, some of you may agree with me that time is just like, it's one of those things where you hate it, but you also appreciate it at the same time. Like, time is such a conflicting thing. We have such a very toxic relationship, me and time, to be honest with you guys. And what I mean by it is just like, time is just one of those things where you feel like you don't have enough of it, you know? Like, you wake up in the morning and you might set some goals that you want to achieve for that day, and you realize that, hey, you might have set too many goals for that day because there's just not enough time to do everything that you want to do. You guys ever had problems with that, or is it just me? Or like, you try to fit everything in one day and realize that you can't always do that? I do that a lot, all right? I personally do that a lot. Now, I just like, it's like my favorite rapper once said, there's just not enough time in the day, you know? 24 hours has never been enough for me anyway. It really hasn't. But at the same time, 24 hours is a lot. When you're working 8-hour shifts at work, that shit drags, all right? That really makes you puts you in a different perspective on time. It's like with Vsauce. Vsauce made a video about this, I'm pretty sure. It's just like your perspective of time, depending on what you're doing in that moment of passing time, really plays an impact on how long or how short you really think that is. Like our childhoods, for example, that's what gives us the sense of nostalgia. It feels like our childhoods were so long ago. I mean, for some of us they were, but people in relative in their young 20s, maybe even early 30s, our childhoods weren't that long ago. But then, and it's just like you just wish you can go back, but then you think it's like, dang, I don't know where the heck I'm going with that. But another thing that shows is like your technology, all right? Look at the things that we had right now compared to like 10 years ago. In 2012, bro, honestly, now that I think about it, has technology been stagnant? Like, at least like a little bit. I mean, we got 3 cameras on our phones now. That's pretty cool. And maybe a couple cool fast processors and smaller chips. But like, in terms of like, from 1900 to 2000, like my history teacher once said, right? His grandmother lived that long, and she died in like 2011. Now, can you imagine? She was born in like 1913, 1914, and she died in 2011. Dude, she's seen cars. She's seen like when towns and fucking cities went from horses to cars. Fucking sending people to the moon. Computers. Like watching Star Trek and seeing niggas talk on their wrist to actually doing that with smartphones a little bit. Like, dude, that lady's seen so much. Can you imagine actually living through an era like that? I feel like that must be a lot. But maybe like honestly, now I think about it, the closest thing that we have to that maybe might be VR headsets. Like if you look at the Virtual Boy to like what the Oculus was 10 years ago, honestly, to how it is now. Like you could just put it on your head, and if you don't have the computer to play it, you can still use it to some extent. That's fucking crazy. Now just imagine what our grandkids even, or our kids, are gonna have in the future. And with how shit's going, I don't know, that's kind of a scary thought. But it takes time, that it all comes with time. Time did that, Time makes you old, but at the same time, time makes you appreciate things as well, because it makes you enjoy your youth. Because if you look back on it, you'll be like, hey, maybe I should appreciate the time I have now and do something. I don't know. Time gives you memories, I don't know, man. Time is just a crazy thing. You hate it and you love it.